Extra credit.
Episode 11.
Episode 11. It's been a while.
Jason had cancer.
Oh my god, that's not even funny. No, it's been like 2 months. We've had just some. Why haven't we filmed? What's been the thing?
I couldn't stand seeing you for 2 months.
Yeah, I feel like
just schedules didn't align.
I feel like we didn't even try, to be honest with you.
We didn't try.
We were both just kind of like.
I was working, then I did
thing.
the race, and then it was like.
I think we absolutely could have done it, but we just didn't schedule.
What you're talking about.
Well, we're back at it.
It could have happened.
We'll probably film another one 6 months from now. But yeah, nonetheless.
Things are happening.
We're here.
Changing.
We have a pretty cool topic today.
We do?
I think so.
Okay, what is
How you been? How's life been treating you? How's the wife? How's the kids? How's the business? How are your stocks?
Stocks are looking good. Yeah.
How's the testnet?
Testnet's looking good. I lost a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, you actually did.
I did lose money.
You did lose money in the stocks.
In crypto. Not stocks. Different thing, Jason.
They're literally the same thing.
No, they're literally not.
One's
crypto and one's stocks.
They operate basically the same way. One is just...
one's crypto, one's stocks.
One's filled with old white men investing and trading. The other is... How do I not offend like everyone? You know, more modern people, let's just say. Not what I was going to say, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm one of these crypto investors, so...
Yeah, we all lost money.
I guess I'm one of those jabronis.
Jabronis.
All right, so today's episode is about why everyone should start a business.
Why?
And I guess when I say everyone, I mean, yeah, I think everyone should, but I guess I'm referring to people more your age range, like teenagers. Yeah, I think starting a business it's been a really fun experience for us and challenging. And it's taught us quite a bit.
It has.
And
we'll
get into it.
Okay.
I'm just prefacing right now. I'm giving everyone an introduction. Before we dive in. I think it's taught us a lot of things, right? And to start off, our business is pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
We
sell pizza to the homeless and charge them a lot of money.
Yeah, we have a pretty cool business motto where we double charge the homeless.
Yep.
No, we sell pizza at farmers markets.
Yes.
And
how much have we made?
Well,
negative.
You know, every business you have to invest money into it, right? Sure. So you work. You know what they say, like restaurants don't turn a profit for like 10 years or something. So I think we're
don't say we're ahead, because
I wasn't going to say we're ahead. I was going to say I guess we're closer to turning profit.
Right, put less money into the restaurant.
Our overhead is a lot different. Okay.
Yeah, but our underhead is a lot different too.
I don't even know what that means. So why don't we talk about... So we have a pizza business, right? And we have a pretty interesting method of cooking it.
Yes.
That
special.
I've never really seen many other people do, which is kind of... which came out by an accident.
It indeed did.
Which is pretty cool, right? Do we want to tell people what we do, or...
Do it.
To like the 9 people that watch this.
Yeah.
Shout out your dad. Shout out Megan. I think that's
Owen in there.
Does he watch the episodes?
Yeah.
Does he actually? While he's doing his lateral raises? He puts on the podcast.
No.
He'll watch the clips, I'm sure.
TikTok,
right?
Yeah. Clip it. What's up, Owen?
Start
working out.
He's looking swole. He's got the 4-pack going. We'll clip that. It'll help his subscribers. Maybe we'll tag him and people will go and follow him.
Yeah, he lost them.
Yeah, he lost so many. So we have a pizza business, right? We're selling at farmers markets, and who knows where that's going to take us in the future. But for now, we're just kind of getting off the ground.
Yes.
Some of our failed ideas were shoe business. That didn't go anywhere. The ones with the sprouts. Weren't we going to do the cool flow? We kind of talked about that one for a little bit, like a shirt/accessory business. That didn't go anywhere.
What's another one?
I don't want to count the Antigua bikes, but weren't you and Owen thinking about doing something like that?
Yeah, but it wasn't like money.
But you were thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll count that one, some sort of bike repair business.
Yeah, there was stuff.
Was there anything else we tried? No, right? Just those 4?
Yeah.
So we had a couple failed ideas, and then finally this one kind of made sense and took off the ground.
Took
off the ground.
Off ground took.
You know the saying. So let's start. What did it teach us, right? The first thing I have here is handling rejection and adversity.
Oh, yeah.
So how did it teach us handling rejection?
I don't know if it did. I think
we had some people say no, and
not really. We never reached out to anyone that said, no, we can't do it.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But I see how you could.
Well, maybe with the permits, right? We had a lot of issues with permits and stuff.
But actually reaching out to farmer farmers, we didn't have any rejection. But
no,
there's nobody like, oh, you can't come.
I think we had 1 or 2.
No,
we had to have had 1 or 2.
No, they said we're closed for now, but we have some open guest spots. So if you want to apply to that, you can.
Huh.
Nobody actually fully rejected us.
Okay, well, either way.
We got rejected in permits.
We got rejected with a lot of permits.
Yes, that we got rejected in.
Which did set us back and we're not able to do a couple of them now.
Yes.
Because of that permitting stuff. So my question then would be, so less about handling rejection, but in theory, right? I mean, when we're at the markets, people don't always want to buy. So you have to deal with that rejection right there. Right, people seem interested, but then they don't buy. So, what are you learning from that? I guess is the question.
How to handle rejection.
I know, but what does that mean? What does that mean in your own experience?
How to handle it.
What does that mean? What do you mean? I'm confused.
I'm too.
What have you learned from this experience of having people say no and just dealing with all that difficulty?
You just gotta move past it. You just gotta keep it going.
We're getting somewhere now.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
So
don't let the other stuff.
So what it's taught you is that's it?
Yeah, that's what it's taught me.
Has that carried?
We got rejected in the permits. Then we moved on. We're like, okay, that's not an option.
So we had to then learn to find other options.
Go to the other ones that we didn't need permits.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. So the rejection taught you to not give up, but to find different avenues to do the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. See, that's, I think, is a pretty good lesson, right? You should have got more sleep last night. Okay. I would agree. I think this whole experience has taught me that there are many ways to get to your end result. Right, so our end result was wanting to make and sell these, and we had a couple ideas that didn't pan out.
Yes.
But if you only lose when you quit, right? I really like that quote, and I feel like as long as you believe strongly enough in the ideas, a no should push you to try out other avenues, right? And I think that's what it taught us.
Yeah.
It kind of showed us if we really want to do this and we really believe in it, then
you have to find another way.
You just find another way. And sure, it was annoying dealing with no's, and it's kind of upsetting, and maybe it hurts the ego a little bit.
I have no ego.
But it helps push you to find a yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? And maybe you find a yes in an area that you didn't even think about before. So a no opens your mind up to totally new possibilities that you didn't.
We didn't even really want to do the ones that we originally that we got into.
And those seem to be kind of going to be the best ones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then that door opened up to the other doors with the festivals and stuff. Yeah. So it's kind of if you let the no stop you, you have no idea what could be on the other side of other possibilities and stuff, right? So I actually feel like that was a pretty cool experience. What about just general adversity, right? That just means hardship. What's been hard about this experience?
A lot of emailing people.
A lot of emailing, spending a lot of time.
And just I know math is whatever, you gotta do math, but how much each thing is gonna be, and how much we're gonna use of it, and how much we're gonna need of it, and how much we need to prepare, what stuff we need to cook the actual stuff, and
so the logistics of how much does things cost,
what margin we're making on it, what profit we're making. I know the same thing, just different way to say it, but That whole thing is...
Yeah, and like trying to not sacrifice quality to make more money. It's that balance between we want to give people a really good product and we want to use really good ingredients, but that's really expensive.
Yeah.
What are people willing to pay for stuff? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've never tried to sell really anything food related before, so this has been a pretty cool. I don't know, like an experience to see, like, you know, when you buy something at the store and it costs what it cost, especially like a healthier thing.
You also don't think about it, really.
You don't really think about it, but now you're like, okay, this $8 or $9 thing, maybe it's $8 or $9 because it cost $4 or $5 to make. And obviously, when you're a big company, they're totally taking advantage of you and exploiting you. But the little guy, they can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, we could only lower our prices if we got in bulk. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
like bulk.
We're already looking in bulk, and it's still kind of expensive.
It's so expensive.
So it's like not really cost effective totally to do something like this. Yeah. And then imagine we want to ship them. I mean, that's a whole other animal. So yeah, I totally think it's taught us just like the inner workings of how things cost and what that whole process is like.
Having to just think about it, even.
It's given us new perspective, I think, on just industry.
Never had anything to think about that before.
Yeah, I never needed to think about that.
Exactly.
All right, I think the next, segueing into, it's just been, like, has it been hard work? Like, would you...
I don't think it's, like, hard, like, necessarily, like, breaking my back. But, like, mental hard work.
How so?
As I said before, just all that stuff is just draining. I mean, emails, you can only send so many emails before you get sick of sending emails.
So we have to send out a lot of emails. We have to call so many different people with permits. And then just planning out all the things, just like... Planning out, going shopping. Yeah. And then what about spending hours and hours experimenting with recipes?
Yeah, and freaking making dough and sauces and all that.
Eating a million pizzas, trying everything out.
That's the hardest part, eating the pizza.
I would also add, I think subconsciously it's pushed you to maybe get extra shifts at your regular job because you've had to spend money. We've invested.
It has.
I think subconsciously. I think so.
Okay. I'll trust you on
That's my opinion. You can disagree.
I don't disagree.
But I think it's pushed you to pick up some extra shifts because we had to buy the oven, the burners. Pick up
extra shifts? I freaking work every day.
Not extra shifts as in like you call your boss, hey, can I work extra days? But like maybe you jump on opportunities a little bit more. Well, I'm kind of asking you, do you think that's been the case or not really?
I think I do that anyway, but...
You don't think you have more incentive now?
Maybe I want a little bit more money to spend. So maybe? I don't know. I like working anyway, so...
I guess my assumption would be maybe subconsciously.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff subconsciously.
Maybe you've been more inclined to pick up shifts because it's like you've had to invest hundreds and hundreds of dollars into it, right? Yeah. And then you also want money for yourself and everything else you want to buy. Yeah. So it's kind of like...
subconsciously. Yeah.
Right? So I think that's an interesting part. Same thing with me, right? Maybe I've worked a little bit more now with other stuff because I'm like, okay, I want to have the money to invest in this. I want to be sure that if we need to buy something, it's there. Yeah. Right? So I think that's one aspect about us starting this business that I didn't really think about before starting it, was like how eager I would be to work harder to get money to invest in this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because I think when you see a business and they're like, yes, we invested $20,000, right? Like a small mom and pop person. Yeah. You don't really think about like, how is that money obtained? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think, at least in my perspective, it's been pretty cool. It's pushed me to work harder. I think it's pushed you to work a little bit harder so that we can get more money to turn this idea into a reality, right? Yeah. Cool. All right, next I have navigate money. That was your idea. You put that on here before.
I did.
Yeah. I'm gonna need some more energy from you, bro.
I don't. What was I talking about? That. Oh, I know what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
Like where to spend money, where not to, and like just like priorities for stuff. Just like an oven was a big priority for us. Just like high quality stuff, and then also stuff that would work that didn't need to necessarily be high quality.
So you're learning
what's important and like to focus on things. I don't know. It made sense in my head.
So let me try to make sense of this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Navigate money in the sense of you only have a certain amount of money.
Yes.
Right? You don't have an endless supply. It's not like we had investors.
But we need all of it and what to set priorities on.
So it's kind of like we can't have this business function without X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But we only have enough money for certain things.
Yeah.
So you're learning how to prioritize.
Yeah.
So the question would be then,
it like makes sacrifices and prioritize different things.
How do you take that skill and apply it elsewhere? Do you feel like that's taught you something you can leave with?
Yeah, prioritize other things. Being able to two things that need to get done, and then just prioritize one that you really need.
You think it's taught you how to
balance?
Yeah. Like when you have a certain, because before you just had money, you had really nothing to worry about, right? Yeah. Buying bike stuff was your only expense, really. Yeah. But now you think it's taught you something you could take away in the future?
Yeah.
Like how to actually look at things and be like, all right, this is important, this is not as important.
Yeah, yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really good skill.
See, I was
for sure
with that.
I would say, I think I already knew that personally, just because I have to deal with that as someone who's older than you. But
wait, you're older than me?
Yeah, by like a year. But what was I gonna say?
Somebody that believe you.
Probably. I mean, a couple people thought you were a grown ass man. So.
Whoa, watch it.
Someone asked me if I was Asian once.
What?
A lady thought I was Asian. She asked me if I was Korean. I swear to God, I was at a pharmacy. So people would believe anything. Their perceptions are whack.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think it has just even helped me even further with navigating money.
Yeah.
Because I have a finite amount of money too. And it's like, okay, what's important, what's not important? How do I budget? Right? I think it's really helped us budgeting.
Yeah,
as well.
I just don't have expenses. I can spend whatever I want. And I say that to everybody. Like, how do you spend your money on that? I'm like, what expenses do I have?
But I think it puts
it's
like
the first time I've had
something
to rely or like, something to save, not save for, but like
a business relies on you not spending your money stupidly.
Yeah.
So like you have to take the money you earn from your regular job and you can't just keep blowing it because you have obligations now.
Yeah.
So I think that teaches you a lot of responsibility. I mean, that's going to teach you like when you're older and you pay rent and stuff.
Yeah. That may be going on a vacation at the time that you need to pay renting.
It's probably not the best idea.
Yeah, something like that.
And people are going to be like, well, that's stupid and obvious. But for someone your age who's never had that experience yet.
People don't do it very well, so it's obviously not very obvious.
Exactly. I think so. This is a great, like, low stakes way. Because if this business, let's say it fails, right?
Yeah.
Or we stop it, your livelihood's not depending on it.
Yeah.
Right? But you still
low
learn.
Stake.
It is
high
really
reward.
Yeah. And it's low stakes, teaching high responsibility.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't actually plan that. It was a good
Everybody says that to me. It's like, oh, that's obvious. Well, people still do it, so it's obviously not really obvious.
Most people can't manage their money well at all. So
there's lots of things I said like that. People say that to me.
And maybe the people hating the most are the ones who are projecting the most.
That's how it is.
It's always how it is. All right, next one I have in here is time management. How did starting this business help us with our time management?
We just set priority. We did commit to like farmers markets, and then just take time out of like you work, I work. Mm-hmm. Take time just to make pizzas, practice, all that stuff.
So learning how to meet deadlines, like we have to submit this and this by a certain time. We have to order things by a certain time. We have to have our recipe finalized by a certain time. You and I have to fit it into our schedule.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Yeah, I would 100% agree. It's definitely, helped.
Also, like just making the pizzas in a timely fashion.
Yeah, learning how to. What do you mean, like, not spending 20 minutes making one pizza?
Yeah. Just be able to go back to like prioritizing, like focus on that one thing, quickly do it, then do the other thing.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Jason agrees. Okay.
I think it's definitely helped
made it
with time management and just, I guess, the ability to learn what needs to take priority, what you can push off, and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's also taught me, because, we started this 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already May.
I know.
When we agreed to all this stuff in June, I was like, oh, we have plenty of time.
Yeah, and then
the people are emailing us are like, hey, be prepared, be ready. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. We still have so much left to do.
Yeah.
So it kind of shows you time goes.
The first time we're using the oven.
Time goes faster than you think. You know, it's kind of crazy. Okay, I mean, social skills, it's obvious, right?
Yeah, you got to talk to people. And
you have to talk to people.
Talk to farmers market people. You got to talk to people that are scary. Like that kind of person, not just like the average customer, but like...
You get to talk to a variety
of there's people. Like the officials, whatever, the people in charge that are more high stake.
But at least at my end, because I talked to all like the official people.
Yeah.
Each one had a very different personality. Some were way more serious. Some were totally laxed. And then when you're actually selling the pizza, you're like a salesman, right?
Yeah.
Because people come up and maybe they're on the fence about buying. You have to actually be like persuade them to a certain extent, right? And I think sales is one of the most important skills you can have because every industry, right, relies on some interpersonal communication.
I can do sales. I just don't like it.
Well, I think everyone can improve on their selling ability, right? No matter what.
Selling ability.
Like, even if you have a job where after the interview, you never talk to anybody ever again. Even your interview, you still have to sell yourself to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's been pretty cool to talk to so many different types of people.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. It's nice. It's always good to just...
exposes you to a lot of different stuff.
You're getting vulnerable too, right? Because someone is trying your creation.
Yeah.
And...
like, we think our creation's good, but it doesn't mean everybody else does.
Yeah. My little sister did farmers markets, and I remember someone tried a sample of her cookie, and she was like kind of off to the side of her booth, and she was like, oh, this shit sucks. And she was trying to whisper it, but we all heard it, and my little sister was like, you know, kind of bummed her out. It didn't matter that like 100 people bought and everyone liked it. She was the only person that she ever heard say, I don't like it, and it was kind of like a pretty bad reaction.
Yeah.
It's like all the positive went away, right? So I think dealing with that sort of negativity is really good because it teaches you not to let it get to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? You kind of push your ego aside and you're just like, whatever, man. It's not for everyone.
Ego.
Right? People love Frank Pepe, and we thought that pizzeria sucked ass.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Mm-hmm. I can't recommend anything else in New Haven because I didn't go there, but I'm going to tell you right now, just don't go there.
Modern was good. I can recommend that place and Sally's.
I can't.
But Frank, whoever made our pizza that day, fired. That sucked. Okay. This is my favorite aspect of it.
Jason.
Taking one of your ideas, right? Just a thought in your head and actually like turning it into something tangible, right? So we had talked about, you know, your dad. Oh, we tried the wiener business. Remember that? Like we thought about the sausage business for a little bit. Making our own, like...
oh, yeah.
Right? We actually experimented with a bunch of them, and that kind of went nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to have this idea in your head, whether it's creating shoes or...
dude, yeah, we bought sausage casings and...
yeah, I had the grinder.
Yeah, I know. We went deep into that.
What happened with that? Why did we stop that?
I think, honestly, we forgot about it.
I think we forgot. I forgot until this moment.
I completely forgot. I think I still have the sausage casings.
Well, we also had tried the vegan patty business for a little bit.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
It's cool to like spend those weeks coming up with the idea, just taking the ideas out of your head and then actually turning it into something. Yeah. Even if this goes nowhere, right? And we decide tomorrow to quit, we still at least pictured something in our head and then created it, right? Whether that's with shirts, we made the Cool Flow pop sockets, right? It started off with an idea. With your sneakers too, right? Yeah. When you I can't think of the word. Whatever. When you customize them, right? You still have to have the idea in your head to a certain extent, and then you bring it to reality. It feels good to do that, in my opinion, right? You get to like flex your creativity and stuff.
Flex it.
I think that's been one of my favorite aspects of this.
I agree with that.
You know, kind of bringing your ideas to fruition. It's cool.
Fruition.
There you go. That's your SAT word for the day.
Oh, God.
Okay, what about responsibility? That's one you put on here. How did it teach us responsibility?
Like, again, emailing people, you had to, like, respond to them or, like, wouldn't have anything, essentially. Or, like, we had to be like, okay, we got to buy the oven, we got to test stuff, and, like,
Mm-hmm. I think also we have people counting on us now.
Yeah. That
right,
we're going to show up to the farmer's market.
They gave us a position over someone else.
Yeah.
And we're responsible to be professional and show up and meet the standards and not break any rules, right?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty interesting and nice.
Relied on.
Like, it feels good to be relied on.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is now promoting the market with us in mind.
Yeah.
Right? So he's going to tell people that we're here now.
Yeah.
So, like, we're being relied on.
Yeah.
I think...
In a sense, yeah.
I think when people start a business, right, they're like, or think about it, they just focus on money. But my favorite aspect, aside from taking one of your ideas, turning it into something, is the fact that people rely on you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into this, but I feel like part of the reason why so many people struggle with mental illness, and I struggled with this years and years ago, was that nobody relied on me. I had no responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? You kind of just walk around.
Talk about that a lot.
You're just like a free spirit. And that's okay, and that's obviously great. But when you have people who rely on you, who need you...
You can't mess up.
That I'll say...
No, you can't. You. There's a lot more error to the...
You can obviously mess up.
Yeah, you can mess up in anything.
When people rely on you, it forces you to like show up and do a good
focused,
job.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like really go into it.
It gives you purpose.
Yes.
Right? It helps you like kind of get out of bed.
This all the time.
We do, because I think it's really important, right? Just like at your shop.
Yeah.
Right? Like your bosses are relying on you to open on time, to make sure it flows smoothly, to close properly, right? To not be a jackass. You even said you're gonna because you're in charge now.
Yeah.
All the other people there, you're gonna keep in line, right? You're not gonna be like a dictator and be mean, but it's just like they're relying on you to make sure everything flows smoothly, and that pressure, a lot of people think is bad, but I actually think it's really good because it really helps you mature, teaches you responsibility, and overall, I just think it helps. Like, you kind of just don't have room to be depressed. I know that sounds terrible.
You don't have room for mistake or to think about and really anything there.
I think I'm pushing back on that because you can still make mistakes. Like, you're not going to do it perfectly. We're going to, we have made mistakes, but it's okay.
As much as if you weren't, though.
There's just more riding on it. So it makes you want to do a better job.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas before, when no one cares, you're just like, you don't do anything that well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like when I was really, really depressed and suicidal and whatnot, I just had no responsibility. I had no job. I was barely in school. Yeah. Right? There was no reason for me, I don't know.
Do anything.
Kind of. I know it sounds bad, but really that was like the major thing that helped me.
Yeah.
Right? Was like, I started teaching and kids relied on me to help them. Right? So it's like, I had to do a good job or those kids suffered.
Definitely.
Right? Your bosses are relying on you to maintain a business that it's awesome.
Yes.
These farmers market people are relying on us to...
We're going to show up, add to their...
Yes, exactly. They're trusting us that we're going to enhance their business. Yeah. I think that responsibility excites me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, ooh, they believe that I can help expand their business. Right? And that's awesome. That's a really good feeling to have. So I think in that regard, starting your own business is really good.
Yeah.
Right?
For somebody that's also never had responsibility. I had responsibility from the shop, but before this,
that's why I'm saying. That's why I think people in your age range, right,
essentially have zero responsibility.
Yeah, this is a good low stakes way,
and you're
to learn.
16 or 15 or 14 or 17
whatever.
Or 18 or whatever.
It's a good way.
In high school, you don't need a ton of responsibility, but like,
well, just naturally you don't have any. Your only responsibility really is if you go
to school
and if you have a BS job, right, but like. Then you go through college and it's the same thing, right? You're still really only focusing on your grades, and then you hit adulthood, right? And you get a real job, and it hits most people like a train because you've never learned how to have responsibility and that people rely on you.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to learn that, in my opinion. That's super low stakes.
Yeah.
Because when you're 24 out of college, 23, and you have a job and you get fired, there's way more riding on that than when you're 16 and you start a little business and it fails.
It's low consequence.
Yeah.
Low consequence.
Low stakes, low consequence, same thing, really.
High reward in a way?
It's all reward, really.
Yeah, so high reward.
I mean, it's all reward, really.
High reward.
Yeah, high reward, exactly.
Just agree with that.
I agree.
Oh, my cheek.
And the last thing is resourcefulness. I put that one on here as in, and this kind of goes into what you were saying before, which is when you get no's, you have to get resourceful and find a way for.
Have to get a yes.
Well, I mean, if you want it to succeed, right? If you believe in this enough, you sort of have to figure out a way to make it work, right? And right, we had an area where it could have all ended, but we were resourceful and figured it out, right? And it makes you think out of the box and think really creatively in ways that I wouldn't have thought before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool in that way that it legitimately teaches you so many new things that you would never learn otherwise. And when we move on to different jobs, you're learning how to look at a situation and think around it and kind of pull solutions out of your ass, basically, and out of thin air.
Out of thin air.
Right? And when people rely on you and you're able to do that, again, you're just enhancing whatever environment you're in, like, extremely, in my opinion, at least.
Jason's opinion.
Do you have anything else to add? Before I close and I ask you my closing question.
What was that?
I wrote it without...
You asked me, then you talk. Go.
Well, I'm saying before I...
Okay, just talk whatever you're going to say.
Give you the closing question.
Okay.
Do you have anything, any other skills you think it taught you? Anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so. I think we went over.
Do you think it taught you... No, we kind of answered that already.
I also have like a different perspective since I already have a lot more responsibility at another like actual job than this. But I could see from somebody if like I didn't have that other job and did this.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, my closing question is: what would you say to someone who was too scared to try and start their own business? Like they have an idea and they want to do it, but they're nervous to start.
Just start a little bit. Just like. Figure out like a blueprint and then just do it little by little. If you really want to do it, you'll eventually do it.
So do you think that's the key? Yeah. It's like you just have to want it enough?
Yeah, you gotta have to want it.
So then how do you have to want it? Like how do you develop that passion for it? Because we had all these other something. Because we had all these other ideas, that went nowhere because we weren't really invested in them enough. Why did this one?
It has to be like feasible. It has to be like within range somewhat to what you're looking for.
So you think it's...
You can't be like crazy like I'm going to build a rocket ship and go to space.
But why not?
Well, no, it can't. You can't immediately do that. You got to start small.
So you're saying that the first part is you have to want it enough.
Yeah.
Which...
But you have to you got to first start with wanting something that's small.
So you're saying... I think I understand what you're saying, but you're not saying it in a...
Probably not.
So the first part is you have to want it enough. And then once you want it enough, even if the goal is something really crazy, you have to develop a blueprint and then just have work toward it gradually.
Yeah.
So I think that's very true, right? I think that's, I would say, pretty standard advice. Not that it's bad. But in your own opinion, how do you develop that wanting it that badly? Because even though the idea, like this idea is not building a rocket, right?
You just got to care about it.
Okay.
Like I don't know. You just gotta feel it. It's just there. You'll know when you have that.
So you're saying if you don't feel it, or like it gets you excited to work hard, it's not the right idea?
Yeah. You just gotta, feel it.
You just gotta feel it.
Trust me, you'll feel it when you feel it.
I don't think I've felt this way.
That little tingle right here in your forehead? No, I'm joking.
I don't think I felt this way about any of the other ideas.
Yeah, no, like it's like you're like I could see that, like you can like envision it.
So if you can envision yourself actually doing the thing and you feel it, then you know it's the right idea.
Yeah, it's the right idea.
And then after that, you develop a blueprint.
Yeah, and then
where you chip away at it slowly. Yeah, because I think with us, we started with a name, then a logo. Then we researched how to actually get off the ground and did that.
Well, how we started was we made a pizza oven.
Well, we made pizza kind of by accident.
Well, and then we just were like, oh, let's throw it in a pan. That would be cool. And it happened to be really good.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, maybe we can make ideas. Then we did that.
But to start off, like you and I both love cooking.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's our thing.
Yeah. We always cook together and that's like whatever we do,
So it has to start with you actually wanting it.
Yeah.
And then you break down.
Yeah, you'll just know when I don't know how to describe that feeling. You'll just know when you want it.
I think in my experience, that's all 100% true, and I agree totally. The thing I would add to that is just go for it. Like we reached out to all these people to do it before we had any other.
We didn't have a logo. We
had
didn't
nothing.
We tried making these pizzas like once or twice.
We literally tried one time.
Yeah,
and then we were and my logic was, I gotta sit up for this one. My logic was my armpits are getting sweaty.
Oh boy,
I'm getting excited.
My
logic was, let's get yeses across the board first.
Yeah,
and we can figure everything.
We didn't even buy a pizza oven. We didn't buy any. We literally,
our recipe was hardly finalized. We had no logo, no name.
Jason thought we put 2 cups of flour in. It was actually 5.
Yeah,
it was like.
Well, hold on. Let me retract. We had a name because I had to send emails out. On behalf of this.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a logo. We had nothing. We had no.
We had an email account. That was the extent of it.
We had no logistics of like, okay, well, how are we actually going to do this? How are we going to make time? Blah blah blah. I think my biggest tip would be just start. Yeah. You can figure out everything else along the way.
Find something to start at.
Yeah.
Make an email to email people. Make a logo for that. Make a website, whatever it needs.
But
trust me, I suck at Photoshop. I can do it.
No, I think you're pretty good.
Compared to like a person that's really good.
Compared to anybody's.
Yeah, no, like I'm like good. It's like it's not that hard. It's totally feasible. That's my point in that was saying it's
I couldn't
doable.
have made our logo on my Photoshop
I'm saying
ability.
It's just doable. It's not that hard.
I think if you really like you said, feel an idea, everything else feels easy.
10 Photoshop on YouTube videos, and you'll be fine.
Well, here's the thing though. Like it all stems from wanting it.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want it, you're not going to watch 10 videos.
I know.
You're not going to want to make a logo. I know. Right?
But I'm saying when people are like, oh, it's too hard to make a logo or that stuff, I'm like,
it's not.
It's not.
You can really go on Canva.
I know.
And steal designs for free. They're not even stealing. They give them to you for free. Our extra credit logo I made on it's basically a Canva design that I barely tweaked.
Yeah.
But I think really my tip would be, and I'm not even like a successful business guy by any stretch, right?
We know that.
But you just like do it first and figure out the logistics later. I think when you wrap yourself in like a website, a logo, everything's perfect.
So I'm saying just make a quick email, make a quick logo to fill it in for it, and then
worry about everything later.
Yeah. Make an Instagram or something.
Yeah,
like that.
We don't even have like an official license to do business as anything. And everyone said yes first, and they're like, all right, you're gonna need X, Y, and Z. Yeah. And then you figure all the logistics later. Yeah. But I think people get caught up in the little details so much, and then it kind of misses the mark, you know. And
Mark missed.
You know,
who's Mark?
Worry about. Just worry about having something you're really passionate about, and then figure out the small details later.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Small details not important.
I really don't think they're important. You can get by.
Well, you'll eventually need them, but like...
I mean, the guy we were emailing was like, hey, you might want to add a logo to your Gmail. I didn't even think about it, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like...
He said you might want to have a logo or something.
You can get a lot further than you think.
With nothing,
if your idea is really good.
Yeah.
And you're passionate about
it. We literally had an email. Literally an email, and we were emailing this guy, and he's like, okay, you're down. We have you down for all these markets. Yeah. You might want to make it an official business and then make a logo and like...
Yeah.
We did... We got into all the farmers before we even had any of that.
Before we had any permits. Before we had anything. well,
we don't need it for that, but yeah.
You know. Yeah. And I think if we would have waited and tried to do everything first, it would have taken us weeks.
Yeah.
And we would have missed our opportunity. Yeah. Right? So I think if you just send it.
Say, literally an email.
That's really all you need.
All it needed.
An email and an idea.
Yeah.
That was it. We had no Instagram, no website, no proof of anything. No. I just talked passionately about a good idea. Talked to a couple people on the phone.
Pizza sounded cool.
Yeah. And here we are. And the crazy thing is, all these farmers markets were closed. And we just shot our shot anyway, right? And if all of them would have said no, guess what? We would have just tried other ones.
Yeah.
And tried other ones. And we even thought about just opening up shop on the side of the road and not even caring.
Yeah.
So I think really the takeaway is just shoot.
Just do it.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been the biggest
lesson. Trust me, an email's not that hard to make. I've made some pretty crazy emails out there.
You're so stuck on the email. I think that's funny.
It's where you have to start to reach out to people.
Once you have an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd say this. Yeah, I've never had an idea like this where I just worried so little about the other details, and this has been the quickest to come to life.
Yeah.
So it's really taught me that.
Because we didn't have to worry about maybe we'd get in and we did all this and then maybe we'd get in.
We need a polished website because then they're going to think we're more legit or whatever. Like, nah.
They really thought we were legit and we didn't do anything.
We didn't do anything. It's just like how you carry yourself. And if you're passionate about the idea, people will feel that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's simply it.
I feel taller than me. I don't like it.
Cool. So I think to wrap up, I think that's our business, right? I'm gonna post some vlogs on here. Probably do some TikToks and whatnot.
TikTokies?
Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Muy bien.
Are we good?
Muy bien.
If anybody's in the like New York, Albany area, hit the email. We'll send you the addies for the for the farmers markets.
Oh, that was bad.
I did that to make you cringe.
We good?
Yeah. All right. Podcast adjourned.